Hello, my name is Jane Morwood, and I've been involved with the WASPI campaign since 2017. And at that time, I didn't realise that there were local groups. So in 2017, I'd left work, but I realised that in fact, I thought my state pension retirement age was 60 years old. I hadn't appreciated that I'd have to wait longer. And many of my friends that I've made since joining WASPI campaign have begun to realise that they're not going to get their state pension at 60 and they're going to have to wait up to 6 years to receive their pensions. So one thing that the groups have been trying to do is raise a level of awareness amongst women born in the 1950s that their state pension age is not as they thought, as they signed up to when they started work at 16, they thought they would retire at 60. So many of the groups in the Northwest have been established for perhaps a year or more, but in Salford and Eccles, quite recently I met a lady called Judith Robertson, and Judith wanted to set up a group in her area and raise awareness amongst women that live in Salford and Eccles. In Salford and Eccles, Rebecca Long-Bailey is the MP, and she is a very great advocate for women's issues. Now, Rebecca Long-Bailey knows Judith very well and has offered her support to Judith Robertson within the Salford and Eccles area. So you already have a great advocate for WASPI women in that part of the world. In the neighbouring authorities, we also have other MPs who've been active in the WASPI campaign, including Barbara Keeley, MP, who is in an adjacent constituency, and also Andrew Gwynn, who's also in a Greater Manchester constituency. And these MPs have spoken many times in Parliament about the plight of WASPI women in their own constituencies. In the main, there are about 5,000 women in the constituencies that we're talking about who are born in the 1950s and who are affected by this change to the state pension law. Another method that WASPI women use to raise awareness is the mask. So this is the protest that we often use this mask to make people notice us, because 1950s women do tend to blend into the background. And the reason that we wear this mask is because the Conservative government actually refused to acknowledge that we existed for many, many months. And it's only recently that there's been a change of approach from that particular government part, the Conservative Party, in that they have actually started to say, oh yes, all right, we understand that you exist. But for many months we were treated as faceless.
Here's my story. Basically, I got married in 76 and divorced in 96. But in my divorce details, it doesn't give any provision for the fact that I haven't had my pension at 60. It was written in my divorce details that I should receive my pension at 60. So straight away that wasn't correct, and solicitors and judges should have known about that, because I didn't get my pension until I was 64 and a half. Also, I've been the part-time worker within the marriage, bringing up children, so I didn't earn a lot of money, and I've really depended on the state pension, which I was expecting to get at 60. I also became a single mother, which was difficult, so straight away you're on low income again, looking after children. And then I went on to care for my own mother. I was working full time, but I had to give it up to care for my own mother. I brought her into my own home, who suffered from dementia, for 8 years. And when she died, I didn't have a job. And I couldn't get a job because I'd come out of work. And the difficulty is, at 60 years old, people don't want to know. They don't want to employ you. the government did say, try for an apprenticeship. Apprenticeship? He was going to make me an apprentice. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Now, if I had been in a long-term, full-time job, I may have been able to stay on. But the only jobs that were available to me were like caring jobs, which were heavy lifting jobs, or 0-hour jobs. There was nothing really that I could go for that they would be interested in me, even to give me an interview. So eventually, I had to have help from my children financially. So really, I feel very angry that I haven't got my pension when I was expecting it.
You can see that, like me, you've probably had the same sort of late notice about this state pension retirement age increase, and you're thinking to yourselves, well, I've paid in. Why am I not getting the money that I deserved? I've paid in for 30 years, 35 years, but I'm being faced with this lack of 6 years pension, and that is a substantial amount of money. And I feel that women such as yourselves should complain bitterly about the state that they've been left in by the government. They've been ill-informed, they paid their contributions, and now they're not getting the money that they thought they would get. I am a mentor for Judith in the Salford Eccles WASPI supporters group, and if Judith has set up her inaugural meeting in early January, and I would love to come along and meet you ladies and to hear your stories and to talk about how we can perhaps help you in this campaign to make your voice heard.